It already looks like the Los Angeles Lakers made the right gamble on signing Scotty Pippen Jr. and Shareef ONeal on two-way contracts. Those who have been watching basketball since the 90s know Scotty Pippen is one of the greatest basketball players in the game's history. If you ask NBA players and coaches, the former Bulls 6'8" forward will still be on their top 5 two-way player list. The 56-year-old might have felt ignored or plotted against by the makers of The Last Dance, but you can still witness his brilliance in the docuseries, which might make it clearer to you why the Chicago Bulls of the 90s were one of the best teams to ever set foot on NBA courts. Michael Jordan was obviously the biggest reason why, but Pippen was the one who initiated almost everything on both ends of the floor. Nobody was too much for him to guard, and his era had some elite scorers of all, and his offense was as good as anyone's. It looks like he has passed the torch in that complete game to his son, Scotty Pippen Jr., who played his first game with an NBA franchise as the California Classic kicked off with the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Miami Heat. Scotty Pippen Jr. showing signs of being Scottie Pippen's son on the basketball court, despite averaging over 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists and 1 steal per game in his last 2 years at the University of Vanderbilt. No team picked up the 6-foot point guard, so the Lakers themselves, having too little action in the draft, signed the 21-year-old on a two-way contract. In his first action with the Lakers taking on the Heat in the 2022 California Classic, with Pippen showing a glimpse of his talent on offense and defense as the Purple and Gold got their first win of the summer. As usual, NBA Twitter was there with its exaggerated and hilarious takes as the Lakers beat the Heat 100-66, and Pippen managed 14, 6, 3 in 24 minutes of action. Meanwhile, another legendary son also set foot on the court. We're talking about Shaquille O'Neal, the former Laker great. His son, Shareef ONeal, after starting the contest as a reserve, the 22-year-old O'Neal made his first appearance to play in the first quarter. The former UCLA LSU big man wasted little time on getting on the scoring sheet. His first points after securing a pass and finishing with a layup after a strong dribble. The Summer League is certainly an easy place to overreact, though plenty of standout players in the summer have gone on to do big things in the NBA. Given where things wound up for the Lakers last season, it's not hard to see why their fans are so enticed by the potential of what Pippen Jr. and O'Neal's son, Shareef ONeal, will bring to the Lakers this season. Hey, you never know. Scotty Pippen Jr. might team up with LeBron James and be the Pippen to LeBron the same way his father was Pippen to Jordan, and possibly even bring another championship to LA this upcoming season. But only one can dream, right?